Hey, good morning, guys. JR Weis coming at you with my journey of weight loss. So I'm out here. I'm at about almost 3 miles. I got another quarter mile to go. So I want to talk to you about a few things today. I've already talked to you about some movies and stuff like that, but we're going to go over it a little more in detail today. And I really want to get your thoughts and opinions on it. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment below. And if you guys have questions on anything, or you wanna see the articles or the stuff yourself, let me know. I'll post them in the comments. So, but first, today's video is brought to you by AMI. AMI has been around since 1985. They really didn't get going until 1986, and currently, their sole intention is to make it big on YouTube, be successful, and be well known, on the internet, make some of that internet money. So if you didn't know, AMI is a me, and in Spanish that means me. So just trying to be funny here this morning. Put a smile on your face. And by the time you see this, it will probably be midday, but it is what it is. So the first thing I want to talk about are the recent movies that have been released. And I've already talked about Supergirl a little bit, and I was kind of defending it there, and I'm still going to, because I really, really like the Superman and Supergirl comic books and the storyline. I think it's something that's just well received. And the thing I want to get on with the Supergirl movie right now is everybody is jumping ship. It's, the director, the cast, the writers, and they're jumping ship, or they're defending their decisions, and the problem is when they defend their decisions, they leave it, it's kind of vague, like, the writing could have been better, but I'm not going to say that the writer messed up, blah, blah, things like that. So, defend it, own it. Go down with the sinking ship, be the captain. Don't, a movie's not doing well. That doesn't mean you need to come out and put something on TikTok or Facebook. Just, all you gotta say is go see the movie, judge it for yourself. Leave it at that. You don't need to do this lengthy thing. And I like James Gunn. I think the Guardians of the Galaxy movies were fantastic. Can't wait for a fourth. But, and I still can't get over the cost of the movie. $200 million for production cost and for the cast, to cast them, and the, advertising for the movie. That's just too much money, man. Come on. The Minions movie that's, I got bit on my knee by something. Goodness gracious, it just, the Minions movie was $85 million. Look what that thing's grossing right now. It's over like $100 million or something. It's crazy. And then the next one I want to talk about is Moana, the live action Moana. I guess Disney didn't learn their lesson from the last live action movie they did that just completely tanked. And here we go again, open Friday, and the reception is just terrible. And if you ask me, this is just nothing but a cash grab by Disney, because the Moana movie sequel they released last year did so well. So they're like, oh, let's go with a live action. And I was hoping this movie would do well. I wouldn't pay to go see it because I don't have little kids anymore. And I'm not going to go see Moana by myself. I'm not into that kind of. I would go see the Minions movie by myself. I know that's a little kid's movie too, but those things are hilarious. But I wanted to see Moana do well because Dwayne Johnson is in it, and I like him. He's a very good actor. Can you smell what the Rock is cooking? Yeah, there it was, he did. Anyhow, so the Minions movie, that movie cost $85 million to make, and it is just exploding. And I guarantee you could compare the Supergirl movie and the Moana to the Minions movie and see, okay, $85 million for this, All right, how much was the production cost? How much was the cast? How much was the advertising? And you're going to see a huge difference because it's an animated movie. But how much do you think Steve Carell got paid to voice his character? And you compare that to how much Dwayne got charged to. And I know they don't. They can sit on the phone and do the voiceover, but I don't agree with what people are getting paid, and this just goes to show that you can make a movie. You know, I still think 85 million is pretty steep for a movie, but it's not 200 million. I'm leaving it at that. What are y'all's thoughts? Am I just an idiot for not knowing how much it costs to make a movie? Because that one, Obsession, was made for like, I want to say it was under $1 million, and that movie has I don't think it's in theaters now, but when it was upwards of like grossing, 100 million or something last I checked. And like I said, that movie was $1 million, or a low number. I don't know the exact cost, but it was a very low budgeted movie, and it did extremely well. So yeah, that's how we should be making movies. We shouldn't be spending 300 million, 400 million, or whatever the costs are. It's not logical. So here I am ranting. I said told myself I wasn't going to rant like this, and here I am doing it. The next topic, I want to get into Reckless Ben a little bit. And I've already talked about it a little bit in one of my other movies. I'm making a movie. I talked about it in one of my other videos. I was defending Reckless Ben, and yesterday I caught up on the saga through CLR by Bruce Rivers, which is Criminal Lawyer Reacts with Bruce Rivers. He's a defense attorney, and he does reaction videos, and I really like his content, and you guys should go check him out because he hits the nail on the head almost every time, and he's funny too. He tells it like it is. He's a defense attorney, so he's on the side that you don't normally hear people defending. Well, that doesn't make any sense saying he's defense. You don't normally hear from the defense on certain things and their perspective, so that's why I like watching him. All right, so Bruce Rivers he never came out and directly, well, yeah, he did say that Ben's basically doing this for the likes and the shares and the subscribers, and I kind of agree with him. I like what I see, what Ben is doing. He's trying to help people, but he has his own intentions behind doing what he's doing. And it's pretty obvious, but I don't think he's ever come out and directly said that. He implies all the time that he's doing this to, because it's right and this and that. But that's not the entire truth. He has his, prerogatives, in order too. And what I want to know is the GoFundMe money that was raised, is that going towards Ben's legal fees too for his arrest and everything? Or is that strictly going to fight the lawyer, the bricks and minifigs in court to get the figures back, the Legos back? If it is going to help Ben with his legal fees, then I don't like that. I don't agree with that. I think that money should strictly be used for the Lego situation. The other thing, he hit 1 million subscribers. Did he invite the owner of the Legos to that party? Did he invite the family? Were they there? I don't know. I mean, I would guesstimate he probably got, 100,000 subscribers just from this content alone, and he's probably made significant money off this whole situation. And I'm not crapping on him. Don't take it that way. But Bruce Rivers said that there's a way that they could have gone about this, which would have gotten them their Lego figures back within 30 days. And I researched it yesterday, and for whatever reason, I'm drawing a blank on it right now on the name of it. But you file court papers, and it goes through. You go to court, and you show them, you show them that where the ownership lied and where the contract was signed at. Bricks and minifigs changed hands. And the ownership changed hands, and those two guys that Ben has been after assumed responsibility over that contract. So it's an open and shut case, and it should have been, it should have been done by now. And I can't help but think this has been strung along so Ben can get this, what he's getting out of it for the content. But at the same time, I sympathize for what's going on, because since day one of them coming into town, they've had the police breathing down their neck, pulling them over, arresting them for numerous things. So there is something to uncover here. And that's why I'm still supporting Reckless Ben in his, I guess, crusade, you would call it. But I'm being open-minded about it, I guess you could say, because I didn't realize the complexity of everything. So, what are your thoughts on that? The next topic I wanted to talk about is, over last week or Friday or something like that, there was a police officer in a bar restaurant, I think somewhere down in, gosh, I can't remember where it was, but Volusia something. He was in a bar. He had been drinking. There was a lady sitting at a table with her husband, and he walks over and he starts flirting with this lady, and I guess he didn't realize that was her husband sitting right next to her. And he moved in and tried to kiss her, and she rebuked his advances, leaned back, and the cop, he wasn't in uniform, so let me make that clear. The cop put his hands on her. I don't know if he shoved her or if he punched her, but it said he put his hands on her, and the husband got up to intervene, and the cop shoved him down to the ground. And then a bystander tackled him, which, thank goodness, I'm glad to hear that. He intervened to stop the situation, and they arrested the cop, and they charged him with battery, a felony battery of someone over the age of 65. And I'm pleased to hear that. I'm glad there wasn't the I'll look the other way type thing going on. So but what I want to get at is, this guy had been with the police department for a long time. He was a sergeant with that police department, and he's out drinking and acting a fool like that at a bar. And that concerns me, because when the uniform comes off, they still think they're above the law. And what I want to make a suggestion of is, I saw the stuff that goes on in Canada and other countries where they do integrity tests on their police departments, their sheriffs, their security guards, and most importantly, their politicians. And they do these tests to make sure they won't look the other way on something, to make sure they won't take a bribe, and that they're upholding their laws and constitution. And that's great to see. And I don't think I've ever heard of anything like that occurring in the United States. And I'm thinking we need to, start a movement and get integrity tests going here. It's time, for situations like that bar. And I know the cop was intoxicated, but he could have failed an integrity test, the year before, and had him off the force. Because if he's going to do something like that when he's under the influence, he's going to take a bribe. That's just how I see it. Hey, so the last topic I have is the situation that happened on July 4th in, I believe, North Carolina, where some teenagers had gathered. They had a party going on. There was about 500 of them out there, and some fights broke out, and people started shooting at one another. And what I want to know is how did the teenagers get their hands on weapons like that? And then two, how come the parents aren't reining their children in? It baffles me that they let them, go out and get to that size and start fights and stuff. I mean, come on, guys. Talk to your kids. Let them know that you only have one life, and it's not worth losing it over some stupid 4th of July party where somebody said something about your mama, I don't know what happened with that, but it took the cops an hour to get there, and there were supposedly weapons, and it's not cool. Talk to your kids and rein them in. There was a situation where this 14-year-old kid had a firearm and he lost his life, and it was a tragic situation, and all parties involved in that have lost something. So there's no reason for it to happen. If not blaming parents, but I'm just encouraging parents to talk to their children and explain to them that they need to cherish their life and they need to stay in school, get an education, and be successful. You can be very successful with just a high school degree. Get into a trade, get them into sports, get them into something. Don't let them go out to a 4th of July party where they're going to be in a fight with 500 other kids and get arrested and possibly throw everything away over a party. So guys, if you hear this, talk to your kids, and I don't want to leave off on a sour note, so I'm going to talk about eBay real quick. Be mindful on what you buy off of eBay and make sure you read the description. If it's marked good, don't trust that. I bought something, I got it yesterday, it was marked as good, not fair, good, which, is the next one down from new. And they should have been marked down as broken. These things, those sunglasses, they're all scratched to hell. And the arms on them are stuck. I'm out $38 now because I didn't read the description. So if you're buying off eBay, read the description. The picture that was on there, I should have paid closer attention. So, all right, guys, like, share, subscribe, comment if you agree with my assessment of things and my opinions. I want to hear from you if you don't agree, and if you do agree, hit that like button. And don't forget to donkey punch the subscribe button. Turn on the notifications. So, and one final, I'm at 8.5 miles right now, so I'm trying to get, I wanted to get 10, but the old feet are killing me. I'm wearing Under Armour Charge tennis shoes. I did a short a little while ago. Guys, if you know of a better shoe for walking and running long distances, let me know, because my dogs are barking. Woof woof. So hopefully I'll get 10 before the end of the day, but I think I'm gonna stop at 9 for this morning. So all right, guys, take care. Bye.